Hello and welcome to this lecture, which I title, An Overview to Publishing Online. When we traditionally think of books, we think of creations that usually exceed 200 pages in length and contain in excess of 50,000 or even 100,000 words. To get a paper-bound book bound in the past did require these kinds of volumes in order to get printed and published. The longer the book, the more a publisher would be willing to publish and promote it. Some time ago, I came across the following table from a publication called The Writer's Handbook about book sizing that I'd like to share with you below. In this table, you'll see that a short story starts at around 1,000 to 7,500 words. This is usually found in periodicals or anthology collections, or most genre magazines will feature works of this length. Next, you have the novelette, which comes in at around 7,500 to 20,000 words. Often a novelette-length word is difficult to sell to a traditional publisher. It's considered too long for most publishers to insert comfortably into a magazine, yet too short for a novel. Generally, authors will piece together 3 or 4 novelette-length works into a compilation novel. A novella, which is in effect 20,000 to 50,000 words. Although most print publishers will balk at printing a novel this short, this is almost the perfect length for the electronic publishing length. The online audience doesn't always have the time or the patience to sit through a 100,000-word novel. Alternatively, this is an acceptable length for a short work of nonfiction. Now we look at novels, which traditionally are 50,000 to 110,000 words. Most print publishers prefer a minimum word count of around 70,000 words for a first novel, and some even hesitate for any work shorter than 80,000 words. Yet any piece of fiction climbing over the 110,000 word mark also tends to give editors some pause. They need to be sure they can produce a product that won't overextend their budget, but will still be enticing enough to readers to be saleable. Imagine paying good money for a book less than a quarter-inch thick. Then we come to epics and sequels, which are all over 110,000 words. If your story extends too far over the 110,000 word mark, perhaps consider where you could either condense the story to only include relevant details, or lengthen it to span it out into a sequel or perhaps even a trilogy. Remember that these word counts are only estimated guides. Use your own common sense and, where possible, check the guidelines of the publication you intend to submit your work to. Most publishers accepting shorter works will post their maximum preferred lengths, and novels are generally considered on the strength of the story itself, not on how many words you have squeezed into each chapter. These days, with print-on-demand organizations out there like CreateSpace and Ingram, you can get even thin books published to print without a great deal of difficulty. CreateSpace, for example, will allow you to publish a paper-bound book that is as short as 26 pages. These are not books that you would normally see on retailer shelves, but for those individuals who want to create book giveaways for various purposes, a 26-page book could be viable. Amazon Kindle will allow you to publish short ebooks as well. So now people are creating and publishing ebooks of many different lengths. Longer books will often still go through organizations like CreateSpace as well, so that the paper-bound copies can be created. However, now you can also get short story-length books online with pricing ranging from free and upwards depending on the purpose designed by the author. For example, some people put up a short-length book just as a lead capture tool and include links to their other online assets that may be purchasable for higher sums of money. They aren't interested in earning revenue from the book at all, so you will be out there competing against books of this sort to try to get the sales of your book as well, which is something to keep in mind. That's all for this lecture. Bye for now.